I was a Martian bug farmer. The first thing you need to understand about Mars is that it's cold. Not the kind of cold that makes you shiver and wish for an extra sweater. No, Mars is the kind of cold that seeps into your bones, whispers in your ear that you don't belong, and then tries to suck the air out of your lungs for good measure. The second thing you need to understand about Mars is that chili, real, proper, spicy, soul-firing chili, is the only thing that can make that cold bearable, which is why I became a Martian bug farmer. Most of the hard work had already been done by the time I got there. Anthroponic robots had burrowed deep into the red rock, carving out a network of tunnels that served as our farms, living quarters, and supply caches. It was more like an ant colony than a human settlement, but it was efficient, and efficiency was king on Mars. These tunnels housed our hydroponic crops, oxygen generators, and, most importantly, my bugs. You have to picture it. The corridors are long. They're generally only lit when you're standing in the space, so it can be kind of eerie. When you turn off the lights, it's dark. So dark and so quiet, but you can hear the insects moving in their chambers. It definitely feels like you're off-world, living in a strange future. The bugs like the dark. The tunnels themselves are fairly cold, but each of the chambers is heated. As you walk around inspecting the farm, you're dressed in a heated suit. It's not like anything you'd ever see on Earth, but on Mars, it's the gift of life. Creating an insect farm required us to send up some basic food bits, eggs, and larvae that we could then use to grow our capacity. The bugs eat waste and turn it into food. They allow us to create a full-circle system where nothing in our hydroponics and other processing goes to waste. It's an amazing system, and here I am, an insect wrangler. Crickets, mealworms, the usual cast of protein-dense, nutrient-packed insect farm critters. Back on Earth, people wrinkled their noses at the idea of eating insects. But here, bugs were life. The truth is, for unit of input and output, our bugs are more nutritious than beef. There are no cows here, and there probably won't be for a few millennia. And even then, there probably won't be bug-free food. Bugs work. They create the baseline for what humans need to survive. And when ground into meal, blended with the right mix of hydro-grown tomatoes, dried peppers, and Martian cumin, which tasted oddly metallic, but we worked with it, they became the key ingredient in what was about to be the first true Martian chili. But before we could start farming, we had to make sure Mars wasn't hiding anything dangerous. While excavating the tunnels, we routinely sent samples of Martian soil and ice back to Artemis Station, a research hub parked at the Moon's Lagrange point. There, a specially outfitted lab, built from a converted starship, screened the samples for microbial hazards. The worry wasn't just about something infecting us. Any unknown pathogen could also alter the DNA of our crops or bugs, throwing our entire food system into chaos. Turns out Mars was sterile. Even 50 meters down, shielded from surface radiation, there were no microbes, no viruses, nothing that could infect or affect us. Mars wasn't just inhospitable. It was lifeless. Lucky for us, unlucky for anyone hoping to find Martian bacteria. With that assurance, we were clear to farm, and more importantly, we were clear to cook. But that did not mean we stopped paying attention. We've all read enough science fiction to know that it's what you don't know that gets you in the alien world colonization game. So, as you can imagine, our science was top-notch. Farmer, scientist, AI jockey, chef. You had to be a polymath. The AI systems monitored environmental conditions, optimized the hydroponic cycles, and even assisted in recipe development, ensuring every resource was used efficiently. It was never just about food. In certain ways, my bugs weren't just for eating. They were also our canaries in the coal mine. We watched them closely for any weirdness, and after about 20 generations, we had found nothing. Not yet, anyway. But hey, where's the adventure without a little danger? The first batch of Martian chili was a ceremonial affair. We gathered in the main mess hall, really just a converted supply cavern with tables and heaters, and ladled out steaming bowls of deep red, protein-packed stew. The smell was intoxicating. Roasted chilies, cumin, that rich umami from roasted bug meal. We'd scavenged what spices we could from Earth shipments, added what hydro-grown herbs we had, and let it simmer in a pressure cooker designed to function at lower gravity and pressure. We raised our spoons, we ate. Silence. And then, someone smacked their lips. This is actually good. Bug-based chili is surprisingly rich, nutty, smoky, with a depth of flavor beef could never match. The crickets gave it a light, crispy crunch when we sprinkled them on top. It was warm, it was sustaining, it was exactly what we needed. I leaned back in my chair, feeling the warmth spread through my chest, my fingers, my toes. Outside, beyond the layers of Martian soil, the cold still reigned, unyielding and empty. But here, in the tunnels, we had warmth, we had food, we had the perfect Martian chili. And for the first time, Mars felt a little bit like home. And home, as every colonist knows, starts in the kitchen. Off-world gastronomy is awesome.
Martian mealworm chili. This recipe is packed with protein, warmth, and a taste of home, no matter what planet you're on. Ingredients: 1 cup roasted mealworms, cleaned and dried, 1 tablespoon olive oil or Martian algae oil, 1 onion, finely chopped, 2 cloves garlic, minced, 1 cup hydro-grown tomatoes pureed, 1/2 cup dried Martian chili peppers, crushed, or 1 teaspoon smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon Martian cumin, Earth equivalent works, 1 teaspoon dried oregano, 1/2 teaspoon black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 cups hydro-grown beans, or Earth-sourced lentils, 1 cup vegetable broth, or purified Martian water with added minerals, 1 tablespoon dried cilantro or parsley. Optional, 1/2 cup roasted crickets for garnish. Instructions: prepare the mealworms. Roast mealworms in a dry pan over medium heat for 3 to 5 minutes until lightly crispy and nutty smelling. Set aside. Sauté the aromatics. Heat oil in a pot. Add onions and garlic, stirring until soft and fragrant. Build the flavor. Stir in tomatoes, chili peppers, cumin, oregano, black pepper, and salt. Let simmer for 5 minutes. Combine the ingredients. Add beans or lentils and vegetable broth. Stir well, bring to a boil, then reduce heat and simmer for 20 minutes. Incorporate the mealworms, stir in the roasted mealworms, and simmer for another 5 minutes to absorb the flavors. Final touch: garnish with dried cilantro or parsley, and, if desired, a handful of roasted crickets for extra crunch. Serve hot and enjoy. Best eaten while watching the Martian dust storms rage outside. This chili is rich, smoky, and packed with protein. Perfect for staying warm in the cold Martian tunnels. Enjoy it.
Hello, I'm Brady, the author. In all seriousness, this story was inspired by real-world innovation. In 2016, I founded Entigen, a company focused on developing technologies to raise insects at scale as a cost-competitive alternative to fish meal for animal feed. While this story is lighthearted, the economic and environmental impact of large-scale insect farming is anything but trivial. Alternative protein sources like insects could significantly improve efficiency, lower feed costs, and reduce overfishing of key forage fish, species like anchovies and menhaden that form the foundation of marine food chains. By alleviating pressure on these vital species, insect-based feeds can play a critical role in promoting sustainability and global food security. Beyond that, this emerging industry presents a viable and powerful economic opportunity, one that could reshape the future of food production. So, while this is a fun piece of fiction, it's rooted in real work I've done to develop tangible solutions for the future. If you're curious about insects as food and feed, I've included some links from the United Nations. I hope you enjoyed the story. Brady Gilchrist, Toronto, 2025.